This is question 26 on the higher non-calculator paper. Just from a glance at this so far, I know that it's a vectors question, so you need to get thinking along the lines of vectors. And it is pretty straightforward, although it's worth quite a lot of marks. There's 5 marks altogether. Part A is just worth 1 mark. So let's read the question. OAYB is a quadrilateral, a four-sided shape, and that's sort of pretty obvious to see. OA is 3A. So that's there. O to A is 3A, and O to B is 6B. Okay, and then the question says, express AB in terms of A and B. So what we need to do is to work out the vector A to B. How do I get from A to B? I need to go from A to O, and then O to B. Okay, so to get from A to B, I'm going from A to O. And because I'm going against this, that's going to be, so AB is going to be minus 3A, because I'm going in the opposite direction to the arrow. I'm going against the arrow, so it's minus 3A plus, because I'm going with this, plus 6B. So I'm going to write it so that the minus sign is not at the front. I'm going to write 6B minus 3A. Okay, and that is the correct answer for that one, and that's pretty straightforward. So most people should be able to get at least 1 mark from this by following and showing that vector. Okay, looking at part B now, I've zoomed out a bit. There isn't a lot of room, and I don't want to zoom out too much, so I'm going to write my workings on the side here. So let's read the question. X is a point on AB such that AX, the ratio AX to XB is 1 to 2. So AX, A to X is 1 part, and X to B is 2 parts. So altogether that's 3 parts. So this is 1/3, and this is 2/3 the length of the whole line. So I've written that in. That's 1/3, and that's 2/3 the length of the whole line. BY is 5AB. Oh, sorry, A minus B. So BY is 5A minus B, and they've actually put it on the diagram as well. The question says, prove that OX is equal to 2/5 OY, and there's a star next to the question, so there's some quality of written communication marks here. Now this is a proof that they want us to do. So I'm thinking that they want us to work out what OX is, want us to work out what OY is, and show that 2/5 of OY is the same as OX. So I'm going to work out OY first. O to Y, OY. So going from O all the way to Y over there, I'm going to follow what I know, and this is pretty straightforward actually, because OY is going from O to B, so that's 6B, and then from O to B, and then B to Y. So that journey there takes me from O to Y, and B to Y is, so I'm going to add on to that 5A minus B. Okay, I need to tidy that up now, and tidying that up, 6B minus B is 5B, and add on to that 5A. Okay, so it's 5B plus 5A. That's what OY is. Shall I work out OX now? And it might not be as straightforward as that, but looking at working out O to X, what I need to do is I need to go from O to B, and then from B to X. O to B, and then B to X. But B to X is 2/3 of BA. Now, that's got me thinking, B to A, right, is the minus version of AB. Yeah, B to A is minus AB. So I need to sort of put a minus sign through all of that, so it'll be minus 6B plus 3A. So let's work through this systematically, and I'll write it all down. So I hope you're looking at one of these questions, right, as I do this. O to X is going to be O to B, and then B to x. Yeah, and b to x is going to be, so if I put what OB is in, OB is 6b, and b to x, now b to x is minus AB, but I'm going to come back to that. B to x is going to be 2/3 of going from B to A. Alright, we worked that out using the ratios, but that's going to be 6b plus 2/3 of, this is what AB is, 6b minus 3a. If AB is that, that means that BA is going to be minus 6b plus 3a. It's pass a minus sign through everything. It's a negative, or change the sign of everything. That changes to a minus, and that's changing to a plus. So if I put this in here, minus 6b plus 3a, okay, this is the bit that I need to work out and then simplify. So I have 6b, 2/3 of 6 is going to be 4, so 2/3 minus 6b is 4b, and 2/3 of 3a is going to be 2, so that's going to be plus 2a. Need to make sure I put the lines underneath all the vectors. Now once I tidy this up, I should end up with, let's see, 6b minus 4b is 2b plus 2a. So I'm going to actually write down what I've worked out here. So I've worked out OX over there, and I've worked out OY over there. So just put this in. OX is, I'm going to write it the other way around with A first. 2A plus 2B. And OY is 5A plus 5B. Alright, now does this show what I wanted it to? Yeah? If I think about this, this is 2 lots of A plus B, and this one here is 5 lots of A plus B. So this does show that OX is equal to, if I find 1/5 of 5A plus B in brackets, that's going to be just AB. So 2/5 of that is going to be 2 lots of AB in brackets. So it does show what they've asked me to show, that OX is 2/5 of OY. This is pretty complex, and I've almost squashed it into a small space. But if you take your time, think about this, and go through each step, you should be able to do this, and you should be able to get most, if not all, the marks in this last part. There are 4 marks for it all together, and this is an adequate proof of it.